being successful is not about suffering your way to success. It's not about putting in the work and, getting up early and going for a run, and you basically hate your life until the very day where you're rich, happy, and, it doesn't work like that. You have to really not just enjoy the journey and smell the roses, but you have to actually like the game, and it has to be a game. So how does it become a game that you like? Claus, I'm working on McDonald's 10 hours a day, and that's not a game I like. So what would I say to a person like that? Well, you can set up the game, because first of all, why are you working at McDonald's? You're working at McDonald's so you can have food and live where you live, so you can become successful, so you can build a future you really like, right? So it's there for something. You would rather do that than be homeless, right? It supports you in getting to where you want to go. But it's not a game that you like. Oh, the acoustics in this room is really bad. Let me see if I can go here. So you don't like the game. You don't like being at McDonald's. It seems, you're just wasting away 8-10 hours a day, and you just get money for it, right? That's how it feels. But what if you actually wrote yourself a recommendation, a letter of recommendation, as if it was coming from your boss? And you wrote it so it was over the top, right? So you said, if I had this letter of recommendation, I could get any job that just remotely looked like anything that I'm doing now. Because it's so good. It says stuff like, oh, he's just the best colleague. He makes every day just a joy. It's such a pleasure to be around him or her, right? He elevates the whole game. He makes the teamwork better. He gets results. He's a quick learner, right? Always punctual, coming at work, all these things, right? So you write something that's way above what you are performing at now. And then you say, okay, I'm going to spend the next 6 or 12 months living up to what I just wrote. And then after those 6 or 12 months, I'm going to take that letter, give it to my boss and say, are you willing to sign this? By the way, I quit, right? But are you willing to sign this? He might, add a few changes, add some positives. I've actually been in that situation. I wrote a letter of recommendation to an employee, and she came to me and said, this is not good enough. And then she wrote it herself. And then she came back to me with the thing she wrote, which was way over what I wrote. But I was busy when I wrote the letter. I wasn't into it. And so I could pretty much sign what she wrote, but it was way better than what I wrote. And so she took that letter, which was a ticket to whatever job she wanted, because she described what she was when she was at her best. And I could totally sign that. So now you actually created a game for yourself. Now you're playing a game of living up to what you wrote, and you're going to get rewarded like amazingly at the end of it. And your days are suddenly way different. You're enjoying work at a totally new level because it's a game that you can be engaged and happy with, because there's a result. You can win the game. You can score goals. Every time you live up to any of the one thing you wrote in that letter, you're scoring. And it feels amazing. It feels yes, right? So now you're actually playing the game, and that's what you need to do to become successful. If you do that every day, with everything you touch, you set it up as a game, then you ignite and push the buttons in your brain that likes to play games. And we really like to play games. That's why we can, and we like to watch people playing games even, right? So you push the buttons in the human brain that will allow you to perform on a whole new level and enjoy life on a whole new level. I hope this makes sense, because this is it. And instead of seeking success, instead of seeking results and seeking, so you can be happy, so you can feel good inside, so you can feel powerful, so you can feel pride, so you can feel excitement and, hope and all of those things. Instead of that being a future thing that you hope to achieve one day by suffering now, then suddenly you got what you wanted now. The ends is the means, right? You're successful now, every single day. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and go download our free course on productivity. I hope this was valuable to you. Think about it, and then think about how you can do this at a higher level, how you can turn everything in your life into an exciting game and stop the suffering, stop the vision. You're not going to be saved in the future. You save you now.